What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Steve Tolley here, Steve Tolley Fishing. First off, I want to say thank God it's a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day yesterday. The sun's coming up, starting to get a little warmer. But the reason for this video, we tried to go out yesterday and Damiki fish a little bit. Had a guy wanting a breakdown of how we do it and why we're doing it. You know, it's still wintertime here, and fish are starting to move somewhat, just a little bit. But I'm just gonna give a breakdown of what I look for and where I think they're at during the winter time and why they go there. Of course, it's a little windy around here. You have to excuse that. Number one, we'll start off with where to go and what to look for. One, I look for ledges, long tapering points to the main channel, of course. And if you've got bluff walls, stick outs. I like to call them stick outs. They stick out toward the main channel. They're by themselves, and fish usually congregate to that. That's a little place for them to get closer to the channel. But if you've got ledges, long points that go to the channel, stick outs on bluffs, those are all great places to start. Especially in the dead of winter, the fish have moved out there. They follow their bait, shad, and they'll continue to follow them all winter long until the shads start to move back up, and then the fish are right behind them. They're doing the same thing, coming right behind them. But we'll go into depth of tackle and rod and reel. My first three choices are Bass Munitions makes a jerk bait, and they look like this, just little ones. And we'll go into colors, and also as hook wise, dirty jigs. Damiki makes their own bait for this, but I have found that I really like the dirty jigs, swim bait hooks. But anyway, we'll go into depth here. On days it's super bright and sunny, and if it's not too windy, everything's pretty slick, I'll go with a light color, something just clearish kind of looking. Days you get a little overcast, a little bit more overcast, I'll go in a little more dark colors. And those really dark days, I go to solid white. But those fish can be found from 20 to 75, 80. I've caught bass in 70 foot of water before on a Damiki rig. And I'll go with a 1/4 ounce head as usual. That's usually my go-to. And if they're biting it really good, they're super, super into it, I'll pick up a 3/8 just to get down there just a little bit faster and keep that school fired up. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And if days are not biting at hardly all, they're just super locked up, they don't want to bite nothing, I'll switch to a 3/32 ounce, just a swim bait hook, nothing major, and I drop down to a Berkeley Gulp minnow, something that's super small, got a little bit of action to it. And what you do with all of these baits is you go around, you find your location, and 9 times out of 10 they'll be around shad or somewhere in that area. But you'll go to your long tapering points, your ledges, your stick outs, wherever it may be, and you're on your graph. Of course, I use a Lowrance HDS, and what I do is I'll drop down straight on top of them and just drop straight to them, and the fish will tell me what they want. If they're super aggressive, you'll see them dart off the bottom, and your line will be in 20 foot of water, and they'll come out of 35 out of nowhere and just kill it. But some days they're sucked to the bottom and they don't want to move. That's when I pull out a little 332, and you just have to kind of just keep it there and dead stick it. Keep it there as long as they'll come up and look at it multiple times, and then they'll just sit and look at it, swim up, and then come up and down, up and then down, and then eventually they'll come up and eat it. But we'll go into rod and reel right quick. I use a 7 foot medium light Daiwa aired and a Daiwa Rev Roast. You can't beat them for the money. That is, to me, that's one of the best combos there is out there. Daiwa is probably the best product. I love Daiwa. I've always liked their stuff. I've had multiple reels last me for years. But Daiwa Rev Roast, Daiwa aired, 7 foot medium light. I use a 15-pound braid to 6 to 8 pound fluoro, depending on what bait I'm using. And of course, 3/4 or 3/8 ounce, I'll use 8 pound, 1/4 ounce and down. It's 7, 6 Sunline fluorocarbon FC Sniper, of course. That's best line I found. It's super hard to break. It's just some of the best stuff. Excuse me. But like I said, the dirty jigs, they are just, Damiki makes her own, but dirty jigs is just way better. And it doesn't work too well in the wind. If it gets super windy, it's hard to stay on top of them. Even your spot lock kind of gets aggravating because it's blowing you all over the place. And this is one of those things where you really want to be right there in their face with it. It just gets those fish fired up, and you want to stay, you want to keep going and keep them consistently fired up. But anyway, we got a video coming out. Caught a few fish on it there the other day, yesterday. I wanted to break down why I'm doing it, how I done it. We ended up with a massive smallmouth, one of the second biggest one I've caught. It weighed 411, I think, something like that. It was a really good fish, but we caught multiple spotted bass. They are super aggressive on this thing. They will eat this thing just ridiculously. And lake trout. Lake trout love this thing for some reason. I don't know. We caught a monster lake trout on it yesterday too. But anyway, guys, I just figured I'd give you a little breakdown of what we're going, what you look for. Usually when the water's cold, of course, it gets down below 50. I'll pull out the Damiki rig all the way down to 41, 42, and I'll fish it all winter long. That's one of the things I just fish all winter long. And water comes back up. Yesterday, I think it was 45, 46. But they're starting to move. Like I said, they're starting to move back up, and they're not eating it as well. But we managed to get a few. But try it out, and definitely your wintertime, don't give up on your boat. Go get it. Don't quit. But anyway, guys, I just figured I'd give it a little breakdown there. Thanks for watching, and God bless.